today we will be discussing about the large intestine and the cecum. The large intestine is divided into cecum. Here in this diagram, this is cecum. So large intestine is divided into cecum, ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon and sigmoid colon. Primary function of large intestine is the absorption of water and electrolytes and the storage of feces and undigested material until they are expelled. Okay, now coming on to the cecum. Cecum is the first part of the large intestine. Cecum is located in the right iliac fossa. So in this diagram, this is the right side of the body and this is the left side of the body. So cecum is located in the right iliac fossa. Here in this diagram also, here I have shown this is the hip bone and this is the right iliac fossa. Actually this is the iliac fossa. So as we can see that the cecum lies in the right iliac fossa. It is a blind-ended pouch. When I say that it is a blind-ended pouch, what I mean that it has only one opening, like this. It has only one opening through which it can communicate with the appendix and the ileum. Over here, this is also the ileocecal sphincter is also present over here. Okay, so it is a blind-ended pouch. Its length is approximately 2.5 inches. Ileum is covered by peritoneum. Like this. Ileum is covered by the peritoneum. So as the peritoneum covers the cecum and turns around the cecum, it forms some recesses. For example, if this is the cecum and this is the peritoneum. So if it is covered by the peritoneum, it will form some recesses which will be present at above of the superior of the cecum, inferior of the cecum and also at the back of the cecum. So these are called the superior ileocecal recesses. Inferior ileocecal recesses and retrocecal recesses respectively. Okay, so now something about its ileocecal sphincter. So the ileocecal sphincter is a physiologic sphincter, not an anatomical. Sorry. It is actually a fold of the mucous membrane. It is the fold of the mucous membrane and it has two lips. As we can see, it has two lips or two folds. This is the ileocecal sphincter. It is rudimentary structure and it has no such part in preventing the backward flow of cecal contents of the cecum into the ileum. Okay, here in this diagram I forgot to tell you something, that this folding of the large intestine is called the right splenic flexure. As over here liver is present, so this folding is due to the liver and it is also called the hepatic flexure. On the left side, this part, it is called left colic flexure. Left colic flexure is somewhat higher than the right colic flexure. And over here, spleen is present. So it is also known as splenic flexure. So now the relations of the cecum. Anterior to the cecum is present the anterior abdominal wall. So if I draw, this is the cecum, this is the appendix. So before it will be anterior abdominal wall. This is the anterior abdominal wall. Okay. Also anterior to it, greater omentum is present. In the sections of peritoneum, we studied that the greater omentum is an apron-like structure which starts from the stomach and then it is inserted on the transverse colon like this, and then it goes to the posterior abdominal wall. So anterior to the cecum, greater omentum is present, anterior abdominal wall is present, and coils of small intestine are present. So here we know that the ileum is joined to the cecum. So this is the ileum, and so there are many coils of the small intestine. So anterior to it, coils of the small intestine are present, greater omentum is present, and the anterior abdominal wall is present. Okay. Now to the posterior relations, we will now first discuss this diagram. Posteriorly, psoas muscle is present. So psoas muscle originates from the T12, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, and it is inserted into the lesser tubercle of the femur along with the iliacus. So posteriorly what we get is the psoas muscle, this is the iliacus muscle. Also we get some of the nerves which are the femoral nerve and the lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh. We say that the appendix is present, this part like this. Okay. So appendix is present posterior medially. So we can say that posterior of the cecum is also present the appendix, and medially again the appendix is present posterior medially. So we can also say that the appendix is also present medially. Here you can also see that it is extending from posteriorly, that is from the behind towards the medial direction. Okay.